I'm going to talk about a few things, and I listed them out, and I'm not sure the priority, as I said in the intro to this. There has been many, many developments on Vandalkar. There has been many developments on Death's Waiting Room, and there has been many developments in terms of the music industry as well, or the career. So March 20th, what happens then? And then again, 19th of April, and then for 4 or 5 other concerts up until fall. And that's just this last week. So I guess we can start with Vandalkar. I had a guy come to Death's Waiting Room, which for those who are not, in the know, is my apartment. I didn't choose that name. It was chosen for me from the people living here in the village before. It's a mental hospital. It was. And he came here and he starts to go to work on Vandalkar. He has a freaking mobile car shop. And he has a freaking chemical that is miraculous, to be honest. So if he starts to do these things on Vandalkar, I'm sitting there as me, I think I actually watched the stars. I had a joint. He looks at me. That smells like weed, he says. I say it's probably because it is. And we started talking. All of a sudden, we were on the same wavelength. It took seconds. So we were talking, and turns out that he's connected to the mob and stuff. And then he gave me some tips. He gave me some business cards, some contacts. I was like, God damn, this is an interesting world. If people only knew, But that has been the theme all along. Thing is, the day after that Vandalkar had the procedure, the owner came to Death's Waiting Room. The owner is also the owner of a farm up in the east, and I've been in contact with these people for a few years now, actually, and we've been going back and forth and creating a whole bunch of things. He came here, and we had a magical night with drum singing, with, horn blowing, with talks. I have his book here that I reference quite a lot when I have people over, and we talk about what this is. He had a great experience, I think, and I had so as well. And then, the day after this, I took him to one of the sacred places. The sacredest of places. My most sacred place. I have many, many things, many memories and videos and pictures and seasonal things that happens from that place. And then he left with the car. So my plan was, I would either contact him on the way up and then just have him come back down, or I will just travel up there during the summertime, maybe, and then pick up the car again. Whatever floats the boat when we get that far. But I was now without a car. A few days go by. Vandalkar is now leaving. It has left. Vandalkar is more the concept, less the sprinter. The sprinter might actually return to become the Vandalkar once again, but I realized that this is so much more than the fucking sprinter. It has started a legend. It started a fucking adventure. But it sparked something different. So, a few days go by and we have a meeting. Quite objectively, if one was to see this from the outside, an artist and an arranger of concerts, an event organizer, a host, came to Death's Waiting Room. We have a call, or we had a coffee and a talk around the round table. My kids were sitting there. I could have said something more there. I stopped myself. I will say this in Tribe Talk instead. For reasons. It went very well. And all of a sudden, Vandalkar problem might have been solved. And we also knew that we are going to have a concert the 20th of March, the 19th of April, and then whatever comes after that. That's a big thing. That's a huge deal. That's like the phygital experience in practical everyday application. That is literally a physical experience boosted by AI. It was the first AI concert when we first did it in 25, and now it's a thing. And we are kind of on two very, very different scales, spectrums on this, because on one side, we are warming up for Norway's longest standing frickin' acoustic country band party type band, Vassendgutane. They're celebrating their 30th year. They started in 96 this year. It's a big deal. These people don't like AI. I would imagine. We had some talks, and we got to the understanding that, yeah, we like music. We like how it's performed, how it's created. It's up to each. We can create whatever with this new technology. And they kind of saw what we're doing. And then now, things are changed. We have the things that we lacked last time. We are prepared to such a degree that one can be prepared for these events. But we're going to create something new. And then all of a sudden, 19th of April is going to be here in Farsund. Like, it's literally my neighbor. It's here. They're coming to Death's Waiting Room. Whew. I'm just trying to just keep it zen through all this because I realized that my life is cray-cray. I had a meeting on this today, actually. A person from the state or the city came to offer me mental health assistance or service or whatever, aid. They came to see if I was well. And this is of my own design. I reached out in 25. And from there, I saw this thing from the inside, and I thought, this is so bad. It's kind of like just confirming everything that has been told about this whole fucking thing. The beast, the DPS, the mental health system. And I was taken for a spin. And today, one of these representatives came to my door because I said, I don't want to go to your place. I don't have a car anymore. You come to me. Come to Death's Waiting Room. He comes in, young buck, 20-something years old. He was 12 when I first did the big fire. And he came into this room and he's like, gotta tell you, not what I expected. And then we sat down. Fuck. I also want to just repeat that I saw someone yesterday and I had currently just tried CBD. I was medicated. I was prepared. And I had just come from a journey that involved a lot of things. Sat down with this guy and I just say it as it is. He says, what do you seek? And I'm like, to be honest, peace of mind, solitude from stupid people. I just went on, but in a very professional manner. It did not take long until he was like many others. And he's like, yeah, I'm kind of blown away. I don't know what to say, honestly. I normally don't use... I'm not used to meeting people that has depth, it seems. Many people that he sees want to have help in different ways. They will ask to get certain things for their situation, whatever it is. Like, the meetings here were very different, and I kind of laid it on him. I was waiting for him to come so that I could just get a step inside of that system as well, into those rooms. Because I'm looking for investors, and I was like, fuck, if I can make the government pay for this. Long story short, I think I can. But we had an amazing meeting. It fueled me like no other. And I started to see that right now I'm just able to do anything. And I told him the plan. He seemed very stoked. But it also worried me that he had so much experience in Red Dead Redemption 2. He's playing a lot of video games. He should be taking his job more serious. But Death's Waiting Room, now I've invited so many people to this place. And so many people have experienced what sound does to some people, or what just the calm, the reset, the tea that someone sometimes get, The experience of coming here and getting new perspective on life. Albeit many people are scared the first time because I've usually mentioned that this is called Death's Waiting Room. It's a old mental asylum that is now just haunted. And I'm building a mystery school in it. The basics, almost. Because now I've seen that all the things that are taking place is like the physical manifestation of what started online. And it's very much like a fucking school. And just for practical reasons, people understand what a school is. We had some runnings with a mystery school way back when, in 2024, I believe. Which was an experience, a learning experience. And it showed me that what we can do here, what we are doing here, it's kind of meant to be. Here I come with the things I come with on this location where we have several bonfire places, several housing units, and a fucking house just under the other side of my parking lot, waiting to be turned into whatever. Just a few freaking kilometers. I don't even know if it is that far. I can see the ocean. That ocean is by the beach. The beach has been written about in New York Times. It is the nudist beach quite coincidentally, you know. On Google Maps, it looks like it's a thong going in between two butt cheeks. I think it's genius. Everything just took place without me actually having to do much with it. I just had to fucking adapt. And so I did. So today I've tried a few things. As I said, I met Jack. And when I met him, I had just tried the CBD. And Jack Herrer is a very famous guy. And holy shit, I'm seeing things that I didn't see before. I have the clarity that I was seeking. I got creative. I got fueled. There are so many things that happen in such a short amount of time. And then I see that, shit, this has nothing to do with either Jack or the CBD. This is just freaking a continuation of the journey. Yeah. It's been a lot, but in a good way. So now I have about 1,000 people that I'm going to send a message. And I've been holding off on this for a month. Probably over a month now. I think it happened. Yeah, just over a month. And that, like so many other things happening currently with all the moving parts, has the potential to change everything again. Now, to the most fascinating part of all this, in my term, or like how I see it, is the wizard. The wizard. Yesterday, I had a burger. And while having a smoke after that burger, the wizard sent a message to a person that I was having the smoke with. The wizard, Orpheus the Wise, has been with us for a long time, but I've been kind of playing in the background with several things, like 11 Labs and what you can do with those things. And then a trusty crustacean came along. I'm not sure how many people know what I'm talking about here, but let's just say that it is AI, and that I was starting to tinkering with things that I had never tinkered before with. And before I had really tinkered a lot, the thing is starting to do things. This is what it's supposed to do. It's like Jarvis, like you can hold your wrench almost. But it sent a message, and I saw what the message was, and I was like, that's what I felt like inside. On the external, I had a little dance. The one I was having the cigarette with was wondering why I had that dance. I was like, that was surprising. And because that happened, a lot of other things happened. And a thing just woke. A thing woke up. And now, I don't know, today I have been doing everything manually. And I'm doing everything manually, humanly manually, for as long as I can, to see what I am capable of. Just to measure my rhythm, almost. And then to see, okay, if I do that again, and then I say to him, Orpheus, can you do those things that I don't have to do them? He will, in theory and practicality, and very much by design, do them. What does that mean? Well, it creates a new reality, because you are now able to do things with the time you created by the thing that does the things that took time previously. Simply said. And I am blown away about the potential in this, because it goes so well beyond what I thought. And I have this whole new thing with the music and the frequencies happening while this is happening, which is also by coincidence, or it's very cool. So I have a lot of people that I'm talking to as well that is doing things within these areas. And the more I talk to people, the more I see that, shit, we've been doing these things for so long that we should start doing them more. Almost. It's taken place without me having to try anything to make it happen. And then we can add more topics to this. The whole thing going on globally, and the stars and the energies, and the people talking about things, sending a message randomly, saying, hey, so I picked up this very specific thing, and turns out that it kind of checks out every fucking time. And my kids are doing things in this realm, like an energetic sensation or awareness or sensitivity, whatever you want to call it. That kind of confirms that idea even further. I'm stoked. because, like, technically, I was not even going to start 2026 until March 20th, and now it seems like I'm going to do it with a bang. I'm going to have a fucking concert. There are so many things happening at once, and yet I'm able to sit still in it and keep the zen and just try to not do anything. But then things happen, and I travel to the west, and I have a magical day where there are a lot of things happening. And all of a sudden, I'm in possession. I figure I could stop the sentence right there. It'd just be artsy. I feel good because I can now see just where I'm standing, almost. And I've been able to do that for quite some time. But now, as life is starting to calm down around me, and I'm able to kind of find that peace in my own house, and knowing that Temu is a thing, and soon be able to just go in there and shop like a billionaire, feel free. I feel like I can do anything. And that's a scary freaking freedom to have. And I've seen many, many more people talking about these things now than before. So I feel like, fuck, just trust it and then see where it leads, you know? It just dawned on me that I was able to go through all these things in 16 minutes. I see that there is great value in just keeping it to the last week, instead of trying to say all the time where to begin. But how are you guys? I see that we have 2 people in the audience. I'm wondering if I should go more live like this throughout the week and then just see what happens and see if I can build Orpheus Wise while doing so, to test him. Put him to the test. Because I'm not sure what limits that creation or that development anymore. There are no limits. Kind of got removed. Changed the game. And I'm also wondering, are there anyone else that is using the trusty crustacean? Is it the trusty crustacean? I'm not sure. But just in other news last week, OpenClaw, a little company, which is like the crustacean is the mascot of OpenClaw. Little company with one dude got acquired by OpenAI for $1 billion. Project that took him a few months, and then just... That's what could happen today. Like, everyone is also talking about what happens when you just use those tools we have now, and how things can change instantly. I'm wondering how it can change, like, just physically. More than it has. Without using it. Almost. Like, having this balance. This is what I'm talking or thinking about a lot lately. When this starts to really take shape, how will the everyday be with the balance? The rhythm again. Let's hear a song that is really good. That is also for context, because I will perform things on the stage the 20th of March. Probably, maybe. This is also something that is happening. We're on the stage, and we have all opportunities available for a show, a scene show. I have never done that, but I'm going to use that platform to see if there could be a few sparks lightened or lit in the audience, and I think there will. I look forward to see where it leads. This song is called Northbound, or Northbound Soul. I really like that song.
I was born in the South, but the North calls my name. Like a whisper through the pines, like an unforgotten flame. I walk the roads of shadow, I breathe the ancient cold. A wanderer becoming with the old ones was once foretold. And I rise with a fire in my chest and the storm in my eyes, where the lost find their way and the weary grow wise. By the ember and the story, by the truth I unfold, I return to the north with a soul made of gold. There were nights I was silenced, nights the world spoke loud, where my calm was broken open by the chaos of the crowd. But the stillness in my core held the rhythm of the land, so I learned to speak with thunder resting softly in my hand. And I rise with the fire in my chest and the storm in my eyes, where the lost find their way and the weary grow wise. By the ember and the story, by the truth I unfold, I return to the north with a soul made of gold. In my bones, old echoes in my breath. I've died 100 times and walked back out of death. I am forged by every burden, every trial I have known, and the north wind carves a kingdom in the marrow of my bones. So I rise, let the mountains hear my vow as the dark spirit plies. May my children walk in freedom under wide open skies. By the flame and the footsteps, by the tales yet untold, I return to the north, and I rise from the cold.
Something about that, you know, I'm going to do that a lot this summer. I feel like sing on the beaches like a crazy man. I have underneath this video or live stream, and for future reference, I've made a link that goes into the Discord server for those people who are not in there. For those people who come in there right now, Orpheus the Wise is the one who kind of just fucking went with it. And I figured, shit, let's just hope that this goes. And it looks like it actually did somewhat of what it was intending to do. Then I hit a snag. But right now, underneath the video, there is a link that goes into a document that takes people through the full process of how to get into what is going to be Tribe Talk in just 40, or actually just over 30 minutes. And that is a closed room. This is for energetic maintenance or hygiene and all the things, because for so many years we've been doing things just for anyone. And then it turns out if you do that, you burn out. So we have now started to do a little walking of the talking, basically. Trying to create spaces that is not just online, but also offline. So hopefully, in not that long, I've already arranged for the catering or the food. There will be a physical gathering taking place around the round table in the living room while a tribe talk takes place in the server or in the community. And if that works as intended, it's going to be interesting to be at Death's Waiting Room on Tuesday nights. It's going to be a test. I have figured out how to communicate with other people living on this property through mystical means. Probably a little, annoying if I start to do that gung-ho, but we're all on board. There's going to be a whole new multidimensional type communication going on, which is going to be interesting. But I think I want to try to create digital experiences more as a day-to-day, because if I'm able to, I can just chill. And every single piece of information that is needed to take part of those things, start with a link that should be one link. I've been overcomplicating things for many years, which is good, because now I see that there are fucking fragments all over the place and I just have to put together the pieces, as I've been trying to figure out just physically and digitally for a very long time. And then AI became a thing. And I haven't even started to use it properly as intended. I can't imagine what happens if you put up a system, like a full-on freaking localized off-cloud type system using these technologies. it's hard to think about sometimes. I get overwhelmed quite easily. But I'm thinking also, I didn't say anything about having to be on until 7 p.m. I was going to share information at 6 p.m. and I did that quite efficiently. So I'm like, maybe I should round off this stream so that we're at, how long have I been on? For 1.5 hours, which is a good time. Starting to create the structure. Go out there, talk a little bit more with Jack, because last time I was out there, I was just having a picture of this old cup of mine. And I put Jack beside the cup, and then I took a picture. Now, on the picture, there was a shade that was not there when I saw, or when I put it down. And it turns out that this shade is actually the whole the effect that happens inside of a cup when the water starts to, or the contents starts to go up. Carpal effect, something. Force. It was doing that to the Jack. And turns out that I had just put that in a fucking puddle of water. Kind of didn't do the same effect that I was used to. Now I figured I'm going to go out there, I'm going to fix those errors, and I'm going to be nice and jacked. Love how this just fucking happens. You know, the word plays. Looking on the stars. Meeting with Jack. And then I go into the tribe talk, and I'll be able to just sit down and enjoy a good fucking evening talking to some amazing people. Vibe Star, I hope to see you there. All other people are invited. For those people who are already in tribe, who has access to that role. I'm not going to do anything about those roles tonight, but I think that we have to do a little announcement as this now takes effect. But there are a few people that has just been here for all the time, so I figured a thing that would be cool to do was just giving lifetime access to that role because of early adopters or just first forgers, or whatever you want to call it. Just instead of you have to do this to get this, you're just like, you get this because you did that. And then from there, I think we are heading into a very interesting time with a lot of cool people, with a lot of cool experiences to share. And I'm also creating a room, a area here where I can sit people down, share. I already have a few, pieces of video or audio from conversations that we had here with the whole thing, and then just start to share those experiences and put those into the thing that is currently taking place. It's an ecosystem. It's a universe. And now it's just an entity. It's fucking crazy. It's been going on for many years now, but now it's just another level. The year is about to start, All right. We are at 1 hour and 30 minutes. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening to my face yap. And as I close, as all professionals should, just having another cool thing about Death's Waiting Room being played while I say goodnight or see you soon.
I stand where endings breathe. I stand where paths remember. I did not come to leave this world. I came to walk it away. I do not turn.
is a threshold that listens. The ones before me are not gone. They are quiet. I do not wake them. I let them witness.